So while we're waiting, see if we can get some more water. This next song I'm going to do for you is now when I was writing the new record To the Bone, during that year that I was writing, 2016, we lost, for me, the greatest musical innovator of the 70s and the greatest musical innovator of the 80s. In very quick succession, we lost David Bowie and then Prince. And it was a very sad time if you love music and you love the idea of musicians that create their own musical universe. Anybody that knows anything about me will know that I'm not very keen on this idea of musical genres and musical boundaries. I like musicians that create their own world, so that you can only really refer to them. Thanks, mate. You can only refer to them as playing David Bowie music, or Frank Zappa music, or Kate Bush music, or Neil Young music, or whatever. These people that create their own musical world, so they kind of exist outside of musical genre. And I like to think in my own way I'm trying to do that myself, which is why it's frustrating when some people try and put me in a box. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point I'm making is that Bowie and Prince represent this particular phenomenon, I think, very well. That you can't really say what kind of music either of them play. They were so cross musical boundaries. Anyway, the reason I mentioned this, got some more water. So you have to share a bit, guys. I don't have 2,000 bottles of water. So anyway, I was talking about, and I wanted to talk just a little bit about Prince, because Prince, when I was growing up, and as we've already established, thanks to these gentlemen here, I'm really old. Remind me how old I am. And I grew up, I was a teenager in the 80s, and Prince was my hero. Prince was the guy I had posters on my wall, and he was my musical god, if you like. And so I found, when he passed away, I found myself, of course, very sad, but I found myself also going back and reminding myself what an extraordinary body of work he created and how much it meant to me. And one of the things that happens when you listen to a lot of music by a particular artist is, of course, it begins to influence what you're doing. And I found myself trying to sing like a black funky dude from Minneapolis. And probably quite badly. But one of the things that Prince used to do a lot was he used to sing in falsetto. So like singles like Kiss, for example, and songs like Controversy and Dirty Mind, they're all sung up here. So he's singing like that the whole time. And it's a very funky black dude thing to do. Marvin Gaye, Curtis Mayfield, although Tom York also sing falsetto, Jeff Buckley. There are a lot of white guys who sing falsetto too. But they're all influenced by the black funky dudes. So I found myself trying to sing a lot more falsetto on this album, and this next song we're going to do for you is an example of me trying to sing like a funky black dude from Minneapolis. And I will let you decide whether I was successful or not. It doesn't matter, you're right, sir. It's fucking me, that's all that cares. All that matters. So this is a song called The Same Asylum as Before.